Alright, welcome back, Sebastian here. So time for my review for the Formula 2 sprint race for Barcelona, Catalunya. Not a great race. Probably should have reviewed this last night instead of waiting until the morning. But that being said, not a whole lot happened, but there were a couple surprises, especially with the Prema cars. So I started with Mini on pole, Martins P2 alongside him. Martins had an excellent start and moved himself up into the lead of the race, whereas Mini fell back a bit into the pack, falling all the way down to P5, which promoted Miata up to P2. Lap 4, Hadjar tries to overtake Antonelli, and I wrote tire issues question mark, thinking that maybe the car was already starting, the Premas were already starting to have issues with their tires, despite the fact it was still pretty early in the race. Lap 6, Hadjar thinks Antonelli's moving under braking. Lap 8, Behrman falls to 18th. Hello, Prema. At this point, I wrote, really obvious that at this point that Prema was really struggling. Seems like they massively botched the setup for today's race. Basically, tire wear was way too high on both cars. Lap 10, Behrman had fallen all the way to dead last, 22nd. Lap 12, Antonelli loses 2 positions at once, first to Hadjar, and then to, I believe, Crawford as well. Hadjar and to Crawford as well. Hadjar then overtakes Colapinto at P10 for turn 1. Lap 14, many drivers were getting black and white flags for track limits, so potentially we'd be seeing some penalties later in the race. Lap 16, Stanek, first driver to get a penalty, gets 5 seconds for track limits. Lap 17, Miata and Maloney were both under investigation and both were handed 5-second penalties. Lap 20, Hauger overtakes Antonelli for P9. Bortoleto starting to struggle with tires. Miata was given a second 5-second penalty, so he had 10 seconds total in penalties in the sprint race alone. Lap 25, train behind Bortoleto starting to form, and Correa overtakes him at turn 10. Lap 26, Aaron overtakes Bortoleto for P5 at turn 1, so good move there by Aaron. Bortoleto, I guess tires were just a little bit too worn out at the end. And then finally, Crawford overtakes Bortoleto at turn 4 for P6 as Victor Martins takes the checkered flag, wins the sprint race. Really important weekend for him, kind of trying to get his season back on track. So your final result from the sprint race, Martins wins, followed home by Mini and Correa. P4, Aaron, and then Crawford, Bortoleto, Hadjar, and Miata round out the points. Hauger 9th, and then Antonelli 10th. I think a bit of a disappointment for Antonelli after starting inside the points paying positions. 11th, Colapinto, 12th, O'Sullivan, 13th, Durskin, 14th, Marti, 15th, Villagomez, 16th for sure, 17th, Cordial, 18th, Fittipaldi, 19th, Maloney, 20th, Barnard, 21st, Behrman, and 22nd, Stanek. So again, a really big, pretty much a disaster for the 2 Premas today. We'll see if they can recover again tomorrow during the feature race. Anyway, that's a very short review, but basically that's all that happened. Pretty much just cars followed each other, the Premas fell backwards, and a bunch of cars got track limits penalties. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. There's my review of the Formula 2 feature race, or sprint race. Goodbye.